I love that sound.
I love it. The countdown.
Bar Top Banter, we are back. It's the Gigem Guys, Josh and Dustin. I know everyone's been missing that sound. Excited to hear it again. It is football season. It has started last week. It's going on today. Dustin, God, it's good to be back.
Oh, yes, it is. I'm very, 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 very excited. I got my maroon on. I'm ready to go. I'm just going to wear it for the next couple evenings.
I do not have my maroon on, but I will be wearing it Saturday at Kyle Field against Kent State. So
Keeping it nice and pressed.
You know, you have to.
Yeah.
You've got to keep it looking good. Hey, everyone, welcome back. I know it's been a long summer away, but everyone's been busy. Lots going on. Before we get started, I want to give a shout-out to 4S Specialty Flooring. It's family-owned and operated. It's a specialty epoxy floors for anyone. Anyone can afford this stuff. They're out of Glen Rose, Texas. It's the Simpson family. They're good people. I've known them since I was 8 years old. So make sure you're going to Facebook. Look up 4S Specialty Flooring. It's D.L. Simpson and Danina Simpson. They'll take care of you. Give them a shout. Keep it local. Keep it family-owned and operated. We love it. But now it's back to football.
Back to it. Back to the grind. Run the damn football.
That's going to be our logo. That's going to be our mantra. Just run the damn ball. I mean, I don't think anyone is surprised. The man, the myth, the legend, out of Longview, Texas, Hayes King named the starting quarterback. How you feel, Dustin?
Well, I'm just not going to be too cocky, but I called it.
You did.
I did.
But I was a little nervous, just a hair on that spring game because, I mean, it didn't make me nervous. It made me excited. Calzada was doing great with the second string, and he did just as good as Hayes. So I thought we were in a pretty good spot.
Yeah. Going back and reflect on that, yeah, for sure. It definitely, I think, made a lot of people think a little bit more about that. But, hey, he pulled through. Just took a little bit of time. Lately, you know, they've been grinding, getting to know the playbooks. And as Jimbo continues, just sit back and reflect and to see what each man is doing and how they're adapting. He knows how to put the person in the right spot.
I mean, that's what Jimbo does. And
Yes,
that's why he just got another raise to make him the second highest paid coach in college football. And
Incredible.
I mean, number one is the man, the myth, the legend. There is no Nick Saban. There'll never be another Nick Saban.
No.
You know, everyone's just right behind him. But
I'll tip my hat to him.
who can't?
Yeah.
You know, they do what they do, and they do it so well. So, with Jimbo getting what he deserves, you know, winning Orange Bowl last year, it's time. It's time to make some moves. We're number 6.
Over the hump.
Over the hump. It's no more Aggie slump. We've hit over the hump. We're ready to go.
Yep.
Got some big players this week. I mean, where do you start with this Aggie offense? I mean, we'll talk about the defense. We got a bunch of returners, some great people. I'm excited about our defense, but everyone's talking about our offense.
Everybody is, of course. I mean, just think about it. Well, we lost Mon. I mean, I've been watching him a little bit, playing some, little spring ball in the NFL, and he's doing good. You know, he hasn't had much time to practice and such. They're allowing him to hand the ball off a little bit, but whenever he gets a little pass in here and there, he actually does pretty darn good. He's been threading it in there and making some action, so that's good to see. But beyond that, Haynes King coming in and filling in as a dual threat quarterback was the right pick. Obviously just our offensive line. I mean, we have Kenyon Green returning, just a multifaceted player.
All-American, written all over him. All-American.
Yep.
But you've got a 3-headed juggernaut monster in the backfield. You've got a possible All-American running back in Isaiah Spiller.
Yep.
All SEC.
Just a junior now.
You've got the incredible MVP of the Orange Bowl that we knew about because we've seen flashes if you're watching A&M football all year. Yeah. But if you were not, A-Chain comes out, gets the MVP, an All-American track guy. He runs like I don't even know what the hell he runs, but he's really fast.
Put it in the 4-4s.
You got him, and if you get bored with them two, put Smith in there.
Yep.
See what Smith can do. And then you put him out at slot. And then you've got to remember Chapman's coming back.
Yep. Chapman's back. Lane, DeMoss. Jones is a little injured, but he'll be back.
And let's not forget the best damn tight end in college football with Watermeyer. We didn't even mention Watermeyer.
No, we
How
didn't.
we didn't mention him, I'm sorry, Mr. Watermeyer, and I'll call you Mr. Watermeyer because that's what you deserve. I apologize because you deserve all the accolades because you are the man.
Yes, I absolutely agree. And what's nice is Baylor Cup.
I'm excited to see. We've talked about it multiple times on here, but you just never know because he's had so many injuries.
Yeah.
But very excited to see what he's going to do. You got 2 strong tight ends, so that's exciting news.
Yes, it is.
Off of the A&M train for a little bit, we got some Thursday night football action. The University of Minnesota is up 14-10 over the Ohio State. I do believe someone we talked to earlier today did call this upset, and we will be calling him in just a few minutes from Illinois. He mentioned this to me a few days ago. He's like, this is my upset special, and he is right on.
He's looking good. I just took a peek at it, and Minnesota put up 14 points in their second quarter before going to halftime, so they're going in hot and excited and keep their game plan going, and they're going to come out juiced and ready to go.
Better be hot inside it instead of hot and bothered, I guess.
There you go.
But then, we got to talk about this game coming up Saturday. We got the Aggies. We got Kent State coming in. They only played 4 games last year. Not a Power 5 school.
Nope.
But when you talk about leadership, we're returning 8 offensive players, including a senior quarterback, who I believe was their player of the year in their conference.
Yep.
And you're bringing back 9 defensive players. So leadership and people that have been in a game before, that is something that we're going to have to worry about on the O-line and quarterback. That is something that Kent State has no worries about.
No, not at all. Yeah, I mean, we're going to see. It's always that first game, especially just with such a new offensive line. I mean, Kenny Green, not worried about him. He's holding up on right tackle now, moved over from the left side. But even with center, you got a Matthews. You got to get all Matthews at center.
And when you have a Matthews, it's probably going to be a good day because they are just, I think they were born and bred to play football. I think that's what they're meant to do.
Man. Yep.
So we won't be making predictions on A&M games because we're homers. We're picking A&M all the way through. We're going undefeated and win national championship. That's our thought. So we don't even need to pick.
Zero period at the end.
So we're going to leave it at that. Normally we'd bring old Al Agner on here, but he is extremely busy today, so he won't be joining us. But I have this guy. He goes by Stumpy, goes by the Kid, which Keith Smith will not agree with because Ken Griffey Jr. is the Kid. But his name is Kyle Davis. He is out of Illinois, and he loves to talk shop. So we're going to give Kyle Davis a ring as long as he answers. Now, don't stand me up, Kyle. He might be drunk on Trulies already.
Mango? Lemon?
Yeah, he may not answer. He's a drinker. He may be calling us back later.
Hello?
Kyle Davis, the Kid. Stumpy, how are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. How about you?
Oh, we're having a good time here. We got Dustin to my left. I got Keith.
Howdy.
Keith having his Truly, just threw up the horns. I don't know why the hell he did that on an Aggie podcast. And Sam over here getting the lighting and everything going well. Excited to have you, buddy.
I'm glad to be here.
It's always good to have some Midwest flavor in here. You're a Midwest guy. How about Big Ten football starting off week 0? Nebraska, they were just normal, shitty-ass Nebraska. And Brett Bielema doing what Brett Bielema does and hand the ball off and a quarterback that doesn't make mistakes. What do y'all think about that in your Midwest Big Ten life?
I thought it was a big win to start off. It's never easy winning a debut game for a head coach in any scenario, and going in there as a 6.5-point underdog, comes out there with a big win, played well. Nebraska just played sloppy the entire game, and as you said, it looks like normal Nebraska.
Not much has changed here. And Bielema, that's what he asked for. I mean, his game didn't transition to SEC, but when he's in the Big Ten, he goes right back to what he did at Wisconsin, get a quarterback that won't make mistakes, is an efficient guy, and run the ball and get him tired, and that's what he did.
Did it the entire game and just looked good after that defensive touchdown early in the game that really just shifted the tide for the entire game when Illinois took that back for a touchdown.
Yeah. We all have just one question. What Truly are you drinking right now? And I know there's something.
I'm not going to lie to you. Right now, I'm not drinking a Truly. I'm actually having one of the new Bud Light iced teas.
Well, I want it to be made known that this guy here is the king of seltzer. I expect a seltzer review sometime in the next few minutes. Put it on, and we got to get that online because this guy knows his seltzer. Keith's drinking his normal Truly lemonade tall boy.
Tall boy.
I know. Keith wouldn't have touched a seltzer in his life if it wasn't for me. So I'm glad I could change someone's life.
Just so you know, Keith, he says if it wasn't for him, you wouldn't have ever had a seltzer. He said it's a fucking lie. So
I don't believe that. He watched my reviews when I was down in Katy, and he loved every second of them.
Every second.
Oh, that was a snort of a seltzer type. All right, man, Kyle. So this is the part of the show. This is the first time we've actually done this podcast during the season. So we're going to make some picks. We'll go around the room. Any kind of little input you got, man, feel free. I'll start with you, our guest. You got Boise State UCF going on right now, so we're not going to do that pick because by the time this shit posts, it's going to be over.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be long over.
But you did call it as of right now, 14-10, Ohio State down at half, and you made that call earlier in the week.
Yeah, I thought it was a good pick just going into the week. I know Ohio State lost a few of their star players just from last season, and I wasn't really impressed with them all of last season at all. They played in a Big Ten conference that wasn't as strong as everyone made it out to be, and it kind of showed during the college football playoffs.
He's just telling the truth over here.
I mean, when you get a guy from the Chicago area that speaks the truth about Big Ten football, you're good by me, sir. And everyone will understand why, Kyle, in a few picks.
And how many games did Ohio play last year?
1.5.
Ohio,
there you go.
They went 6-1. They had a good season. They made it there, but they just couldn't make it out of there.
They barely beat old Gordon Sycamore.
Yeah, I'm like that. Hey, Sycamore from Ohio, they're a good program out there.
All right. Hey, we're going to start with you, Dustin, on this next pick. We got number 10, University of North Carolina, going to Virginia Tech. Beat them in the Orange Bowl, but they got a Heisman hopeful quarterback who is just a stud. You got a great coach in Mac Brown, but you've got a Virginia Tech coach on his heels looking for a win, needing a good start to the season. What you got going on?
Yeah, I'm just simply going to go with Mac Brown on this one, man.
In this pick, I think I'm going to take North Carolina to win, as you said, with the Heisman hopeful. I think it's going to be a tough game for him, though. He lost a lot of his weapons to the draft and just people graduating in general, so he has a whole new cast around him. And Virginia Tech, as you said, they're hungry. They need to prove themselves that they're an actual team out there. But I'm still going to go with North Carolina. They're way too talented on the offensive side, regardless of who they have, because of their quarterback play.
And that's going to be a 3-0 here. I think the only excitement in Blacksburg is going to be Enter Sandman playing and them coming out of the tunnel, which is a great entrance. But after that, it's Hells on Bells. North Carolina's running away with it. Are you having a party at the house, Kyle, that we weren't invited to?
I'm actually at a draft party right now for our fantasy football draft, drafting some of last year's hopefuls.
Well, see, you got to be happy with the multitasking and just how amazing you are to multitask.
Who's your first pick?
Yeah, who's your first pick?
My first pick was a keeper league, so I actually was able to keep one of my favorite players from the Cleveland Browns, Nick Chubb, in the second round.
Georgia.
And we love Nick Chubb. I'm like, I got first-round value in a second-round pick, so I call that just a win overall for the team already. And then just with my first pick that I went with Stephon Diggs. Just mix it up. Needed a wide receiver because I already had the running back available, so might as well get someone with a MVP favorite as his quarterback to start slinging him the ball.
Consistent.
I mean, Dustin, you're going to learn so much about this guy in the next few picks. So we're all going.
I'm already liking him.
All going north. All going. He's fucking hilarious. Next one, we'll go to you first, Kyle. Number 16 LSU versus UCLA. This one could get a little close. The Fighting Chip Kellys 1-0 after their win against Hawaii. You've got a battled LSU with some tough weather and just a lot of emotions, I'm sure, going on. What you got?
Hey, you basically took the words right out of my mouth there. I'm picking UCLA in this game to take that upset, even though they're at home. I don't think LSU is proven yet after the loss of Joe Burrow and all that stuff the last few years when they lost their entire roster almost. And I just don't think they've recovered yet. So I'm giving this one to UCLA. Plus, LSU's been tired with all of the travel they had to do, practicing in Houston the entire week, not even being able to be near their friends, family, all that stuff, going through their normal routines. So I think it could just throw them off and they get upset week one.
I like that pick. I'm actually with you on that pick. I think LSU loses 3 games this year. UCLA, Bama, and A&M. Those are my 3 losses for them. And I think it's a good 9-3 year, them coming back after a very down year next year. But, you know, they're going West Coast. That's always a hard travel for anyone from the SEC or the ACC to travel to the West Coast and play that, 7:30 West Coast time, but it's really a 9:30 game. I think that's what beats them. I think it's closer. I mean, it's not a blowout. I'm going, like a 35-28 game or 35-34 missed extra point or something like that. But I'm with you. I'm going UCLA and the Fighting Chip Kellys.
All right.
No, yeah, I'm with y'all. Going UCLA and LSU. They're just the mentality right now. They're just gonna be out of it. They're gonna be worn out just from what's going on right now and all the travel. And like last year, they couldn't put anything together and figure it out. And I don't know if they've even done that since the off season. But I'm actually going to go more like maybe 21 points for LSU, maybe.
Yeah, it's sad to root against the SEC or think it's going to happen, but I just don't see it going down. This is another game up in your neck of the woods, Kyle. We got number 9 Notre Dame, Florida State. I'm liking Florida State in this one. It says a 9 versus 0. I guess I'm upset happy on this week, but you got a bout and death. You got a lot going on. A lot of emotion in Florida, and a Notre Dame team that I just always feel is a little overranked. Not that they're a bad team. They're definitely always a top 15 team playing great, but I just have Florida State coming in ready to play some ball and another upset. So 2 upsets for me.
I'm going to go against you here with the pick, as much as I hate to say it, because I am not a Notre Dame person in the slightest. I am going to give the edge to them, and they're going to win this game handedly. They are going to rout Florida State.
Yeah.
And they might win this game probably 40 to 13.
40-13. All right. So I'm going upset. You're going handily routes. Okay. Dustin, what you got?
No, I'm completely agreeing with Kyle. There's just no defense there for Florida State. So, and Notre Dame knows how to move the ball. They're just going to move it.
All right. So I'm the odd man out. I love being the odd guy. I'm okay with that. I'm like Steven Glansberg.
You're a pretty strict guy.
Yeah. Eating my pudding pop at the lunch table by myself. Steven Glansberg. Shout out Superbad. The next one, talking about no defense, you got Louisville and Ole Miss. It's not even close. The quarterback of the year in the SEC is going to run away with this. This is a monster offensive showing by Ole Miss. It's a Sunday night game, or it's a Monday night game, I believe. Maybe it's Sunday. Hell, I don't know. But Louisville just about to get smoked by Ole Miss. I don't think it's close. SEC just going to rout because let's just be honest, fellas. It just means more in SEC country.
I'm not disagreeing with you in the slightest here. Ole Miss's offense is way too overpowered compared to what Louisville is going to be putting out there. I don't think they have the defense to stop anything that Ole Miss is going to throw at them, and I think this one could also be another huge blowout.
Concur.
Yep. Just going with it.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a whole lot to say when you've got Carroll at quarterback and Lane Kiffin at as a coach. The offense is going to be there. It's exciting to see Lane Kiffin. I'm excited to play him this year finally, and not at the same time, but it should be a good one.
It'll be a good.
You think it's going to be good? You think it's going to be a good season for Ole Miss?
It's going to be a good game, like the first half, and then they're just going to pull away in the second half. They're going to have a little bit figured out, just like at the beginning of the year, not having much experience playing against other teams yet. But they're going to figure it out in the second half, make the adjustments, and just run away with it.
All right, another Big Ten game. Unranked teams, but always fun. You got Michigan State University versus Northwestern. Dustin, what you got?
Northwestern.
I like that pick, and I like how quick you were with that pick.
Yep. No, I liked how they played last year. I really enjoyed them. I don't think they got as ranked as high as they're supposed to. I know they lost a few, but they're coming in with that hype. And Michigan State just was off last year. I
just like that they're all smart. They just got a bunch of doctors, and you can't root against doctors. No, their coach is amazing. Their program, it's just blue collared, hard work. I'm a Northwestern fan. Been a Northwestern fan. They get a lot of hate on their jerseys. I love their jerseys. It's great. I got Northwestern in this one. Continue to play well in Big Ten football.
Well, and they just kind of.
I'm not disagreeing with either of you here. Give me some Northwestern in this matchup. Their defense, Fitzpatrick, just coaching them up the way he knows how. Just hard-nosed players that are just going to get what they need to do done, and it's going to be a very low-scoring game in this game.
Oh, yeah. It's run the ball. I'm seeing 14-21, 14-17 final. Talking about
a big battle.
Yeah, for sure. Some more Big Ten football at you. We got Penn State, Wisconsin. It's 19 versus 12. I'm not really going to say it's an upset. I like Penn State in this one, while Wisconsin is Wisconsin, and jumping around is always great. Penn State had an off year. Franklin's not going to let it happen again. He's an outstanding coach. He's a top 10 coach in NCAA right now, in my opinion. And I like Penn State in a close game against Wisconsin, but that's a real fun game to watch of two blue blood college football teams running on each other.
Yeah, I'm with you. I want to go with the Badgers, but Penn State, they're going to pull through. They know what they're doing. Yeah, I just have to go with them.
And I guess this one's going to be the one where I'm the odd man out here. I'm going with Wisconsin. I think that they're going to come out there with a little bit of energy that they need. Not winning a game against Penn State since 2011. So I think they're going to come out hot this year after a weird year that we all had last year. I think they're going to come out hot, and I think Wisconsin will be the Big Ten representative in the college football playoff.
I mean, I can't argue with you. I don't agree with this game, but not a lot you can disagree with. Couple quick updates real fast. Bowling Green playing Tennessee right now to a close 6-14. There's Tennessee just bringing down the average of the SEC scoring. Thank you for that, Volunteer fans in the Vol Navy, for just screwing everything up. Ohio State has come out of the third quarter pissed and have taken the lead 17-14 on Minnesota. So sad face there. More Big Ten. I'm on a Big Ten roll. I think this is the last Big Ten game I got on here. You've got Iowa and Indiana. What you think, Dustin? You got two basketball schools that are ranked pretty high in football right now. I mean, Iowa's a kind of a football school. There's nothing else to do in that area, so they watch football. But Iowa, Indiana, who do you got?
I mean, I'm going with the Hawkeyes. I mean, they had a shortened season, but they did pretty good, 6-2. So,
I
mean, what do you got, Stumpy?
I got Iowa in this game. They're returning most of their defensive backs from last year, and their defense was stout the entire season, even though it was a shortened season. So I just think the returning players just coming back is really just going to put them over the top, and they're just going to shut down that Indiana offense.
I think Indiana is a pretender. It was a great year for them. It's great to see them doing well in football last year, a major bowl, but I think they're a little overrated right now, and I think it's a blowout. As much as a blowout can be for an Iowa football game because there's not a lot of passing. But I got Iowa handily winning, maybe not score-wise, but it's a control game, and it's all of them. One of the greatest traditions in college football, the waving to the hospital. I love that too. So, Hawkeyes, you got my vote here. The game I'm most excited to watch, and the game where it's kind of funny because I'm going exact opposite what I said. You've got the Ragin' Cajuns out of the University of Louisiana Lafayette, where they love to take the Bayou Bombs. Y'all know who y'all are. Versus the Texas Longhorns. They are playing in Austin. I'll go last on this one because I got a little bit to say.
All right, I'll start it off. As much as I hate to say this, Texas has a lot to prove, and they're trying to get, obviously in the SEC to fill in that hole. So as much as I hate to say it, I feel like Texas is going to take the edge on this one. Louisiana, they're going to come out hot and crazy, but they're just not going to be able to hang on and keep moving the ball like Texas will throughout the game. They're just not going to have the endurance like Texas.
And in the spirit of my favorite NFL team, the Cleveland Browns, just going after my captain, Baker Mayfield, I'm going to go horns down on this one.
Okay.
I don't think they can do it. I just don't believe in a Texas football team anymore. They've had all that hype back years ago when they had Vince Young all the way back then, but
they did. It's just
I just don't think they have it anymore. Their program's still rebuilding, going under a lot of changes with head coaching and just whoever's running the entire department. So I'm gonna go with the Raging Cajuns on this one.
I want to be proven wrong on this, but it's just Texas. They're going to the SEC now, and so they got a lot to prove. But I do want to be proven wrong, but I'm still picking Texas, sadly.
All right. So being someone that lived in Lafayette, Louisiana, that parish loves their football, and they love Louisiana. They do cheer for LSU because that's the mainstay. But over the last 5 years, Lafayette program with their coach has just continued to make strides. It's the first time, and someone can fact check me, that ULL has been preseason ranked in the top 25. The last time they beat a ranked opponent, again, fact check me, was at Cajun Field against the one and only Texas A&M Aggies when they were 25, the biggest crowd at that time. Texas has lost their quarterback to the pros. Their coach is gone. It's a new system. Yep. You've got where we said LSU going through some issues. Now you've got a Lafayette team that wasn't affected as bad as Baton Rouge in a hurricane, and you've got a team ready to prove something, a coach ready to prove something. I've got the upset of the Raging Cajuns going into Austin, breaking the hearts of all the fair weather fans in Austin, and their crowds go from 101,000 to 75,000 over the weekend because no one gives a shit about that team when they're not winning. So I think the Raging Cajuns make a name for themselves, and I am predicting an upset. So, Kevin Chitty, Justin Gunn, Eric Davis, all my friends in Louisiana. We'll be rooting for you here. Going to the game, the coach, your favorite, Kyle, the man, the myth, the legend, the fighting Nick Sabans from Tuscaloosa, Alabama, #1 in the country, as if we didn't know, playing the U14 Miami Hurricanes. Hurricanes got a great quarterback in King. Houston transfer, got one more year. I think he's a great player, but he's going against Alabama. Kyle, I'll let you lead off with your favorite coach of all time.
Well, everyone already knows who I'm actually picking in the game, but I do have some words to say about the game. We're all going here. We're saying Roll Tide. They're not going to lose. With Nick Saban out there just doing his thing, it doesn't matter that they lost half of their team to the draft last year.
I mean,
he's going to go out there. He's going to just coach them up, have them ready. It's the next man up mentality. Just him learning from Bill all those years ago in the Browns front office. They're just going to be the team to beat the entire year. They might lose one game to an upset later in the SEC. I can see that happening just with having such a young quarterback coming in there. But Bryce is going to come out here and he's going to want to prove himself to be the next great Alabama quarterback like Mac Jones and Tua have done the last few years.
You said it all. I don't need to say anything. No chance in hell. Bama rolling Tide. They're rolling all the way to the biggest game of the year in week 5 or 6. So I'm with you. Roll Tide.
Yep, they're just going to roll over it. I mean, the Hurricanes have no defense. They were terrible last year, and you just think about the depth at Alabama. I mean, their second string isn't a second string.
Yeah, it's Alabama all the way. I like the pick. Last pick that we're doing. Last one, Kyle. Make it count. This is the game of the week. I don't think there was a question this would be the game of the week. You've got number 5, Georgia, playing number 2, Clemson, in North Carolina, neutral field. I mean, the good thing is they're playing week 1. Either one of them lose and they win out, they're going to the playoff because they've lost to who they lost to. But it's exciting, and this is what college football is all about. Dustin, how you feeling?
Bulldogs.
Bulldogs strong. I love it. I mean, that was probably the best answer you could give.
Yeah, just going Bulldogs. I mean, with Lawrence gone, and as much as I like Clemson, ACC, but Georgia, I don't want to talk too much about A&M on this since we're trying to focus on them, but we're going to take out Alabama, and then Georgia's just going to be our biggest rival, obviously on the east side in that championship game at the end of the season. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's too much Daniels. You got the second best quarterback, in my opinion, proven. I'll flip that. I think he's the best quarterback in the SEC right now. He's proven he's going to do work. I think it's actually a little farther than everyone's thinking. I think it could be a 35-14, 42-28 kind of game because I think the Bulldogs are just going to be too tough. Kirby Smart's going to win his first big game. Kyle Davis, you got 45 seconds. Go.
You said it perfectly there. I think that Georgia is just going to roll with this one, just saying go Dogs in this whole matchup. I'm not stopping anything against them. Clemson, they're trying to really figure themselves out post having 2 great quarterbacks the last few years, from Deshaun Watson all the way up to Trevor. Like they don't have an identity now. They're getting that feel a little bit just off of having Dabo Swinney be in there and lead them to the college football playoffs every year that he's been there. But I don't think the ACC is going to hold it up this year and give them much competition. So I don't think their quarterback's really going to grow this year. So I see Clemson dropping out of the top 10 with this loss.
Yep. I think we all agree. Hey, Kyle Davis, thank you so much for being a part of this. We'll start trying to bring you in every week for picks, man. Good luck on your draft.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for having me.
All right, later, buddy. Well, it was a hell of a return. We're back. The Gigem guys are here. We know A&M is going to roll. Whoop. Thank you for coming in. We'll be back next week. We're going to be dropping it every week, Friday, so you can make your game. We're the Gigem guys. We're Texas A&M. We're the shit. Hayes King, gonna kill it. The 3-headed monster. Receivers, Watermeyer. I'm excited. Are you excited?
I'm very excited. Let's run that damn ball.
7 o'clock, Kyle Field, Kent State, Alabama is going to win. A&M is going to win. Georgia's going to win. The SEC's back, baby. Gig 'em. Whoop. Like I said, Alabama like a dummy. We'll keep that in too. Got to have that mom and pop. Because I was talking about Alabama. I put Alabama to A&M in my word switch so that I had to keep going and talk about SEC.